Namo Sangaya, Namo Gurubhye, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sangaya, Namo Gurubhye, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sangaya, Namo Triratnai, Lucio Sampo Pelgyuta Shipa, Tu Centem Petrileya Noda, Pegedro Luzam Peze Pachen, Palden La Mehesha Blaso Wade, Oma Guru Vajradhara Sumahati Muni Shahasahane Kama Uttavadanye Sri Bahadra Vasamahanya Sawasiti Humoma Guru Vajradhara Sumahati Muni Shahasahane Kama Uttavadanye Sri Bahadra Vasamahanya Sawasiti Humoma Guru Vajradhara Sumahati Muni Nikama Uttavadanye Sri Bahadra Vasamahanya Sawasiti Pakya Kekudal Dagilu Pakya Kesudadagina Pakya Ketudal Dagi Dunyamechitu Jingilo Makya Kekudal Dagilu Makya Kesudadagina Makya Ketudal Dagi Dunyamechitu Jingilo Muni Muni Mahamuni Shakya Munye Soha Muni Muni Mahamuni Shakya Munye Soha Muni Muni Mahamuni Shakya Munye Soha Maitreya Maitreya Maha Maitreya Arya Maitreya Soha Om Maitreya Maitreya Maha Maitreya Arya Maitreya Soha Om Maitreya Maitreya Maha Maitreya Arya Maitreya Soha Om Ahum Karuna Karuna Maha Karuna Arya Karunaye Soha Om Ahum Karuna Karuna Maha Karuna Arya Karunaye Soha. Om Ahum Karuna Karuna Maha Karuna Arya Karunaye Soha. Okay, Bon Pomeriggio, good afternoon to everybody, yeah? So, it's Fiera Agosto, so we have chocolate cake, we have popcorn, we have tortillas, we have fruit, yeah? So please feel free, yeah? Please, if you like, and also listen to the teachings, please pick up some tortilla or whatever, yeah? Okay? Please, the only thing is afterwards you bring your plate and put there, so it's easier for the people who clean the gompa, yeah? Okay? So actually today was Eleanor's birthday, yeah, so before everybody wasn't there, so Tantia Guriate, Tantia Guriate, Tantia Guri Cara Elena, Tantia Guriate, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Elena. Happy birthday to you. Hooray. Okay. Okay, so we're going to... So has anybody got any questions about self-healing, yeah? Demanda? Anybody like to ask anything? Any curiosities or anything? Yeah, yeah, Jacopo. What would you? But you have to say here, because we have some friends listening who are not in Albagnano. Yeah. And also, usually when people want to ask something, it's like many people think the same. Yeah. So it's good, you know.
Maybe it's a really specific question. Yeah. And yesterday when we were, and maybe I'm totally wrong, but
not, let's see.
And we were talking about what were the condition to that you have to satisfy to, for example, we were talking about akshobhya, and I was reading something about. But I'm not sure if it's right, maybe in the little book, that there was something with the relationship with your partner, like something like, I don't know how to say it in English, but it was something like, in italiano era qualcosa come che una delle caratteristiche che bisognava, diciamo, maybe if you have the book, I can.
Which little book do you want?
Yeah.
To see? This one? Okay.
I don't know if it was yesterday. Was, but maybe it's not even real. This one. On the mudra to remind me of the union with a wisdom consort.
Okay, you want to know about that?
Yeah.
Okay, so, how can I say? Tantra, yeah, is to. One time, Rinpoche, somebody asked Rinpoche, "Can you explain to me Vajrayogini commentary?" Okay, yeah. So normally there's a very long commentary of like 21 days, yeah. So Rinpoche said, "Yes, of course. It means." 24 hours, what are you doing, yeah? He said, that's the commentary, yeah? So the point of Tantra is to make all our life positive, okay, yeah? So this is why it's interesting, because I don't know, like, in many times we have this idea of spirituality as like one part of our life, yeah? And then we have like the job and I don't know what, the relationship and the pet and the work and everything else, you know? Like separate, yeah? So the tantric vision is that everything we do, we try and make positive, yeah? So this is something very, not just actually relationship with your partner, but everything we need to make positive, yeah? So, for example, if we, if we think, okay, let's say, if we do one of those calculators on the internet, how long have I got left? I don't know if you've ever done one of those, you calculate, your age, your sex, your nationality, your lifestyle, what you eat and drink, your amount of exercise, and then it says you've got, 3 years left, or 30 years left, or, whatever, yeah? So then you think, okay, let's say I've got this amount of years left, yeah, okay, according to this calculator, but actually, really, we don't know, yeah, okay? So then we think, okay, of the time I've got left, actually 1/3 I'm asleep, yeah? Okay, so already 1/3 is, let's say I might have 30 years according to this calculator on the internet, yeah? All right, 10 years already asleep, yeah? Okay. Then if I look in my everyday, how long do I spend having lunch and breakfast and dinner, yeah? And then going to the coffee bar, so eating, drinking, 5 hours. No, okay, that's in Spain, sorry. Maybe here 3 hours. Maybe 3 hours a day, yeah, okay. How long do I spend taking a shower, making myself look presentable, going to the bathroom, toilet, yeah? Let's say 1 hour, possibly, yeah, okay. So then you think, hang on, 8 hours sleeping, 3 hours eating, 1 hour, that's already half the day is gone, yeah? So if I had 30 years, now I've got 15, yeah, okay? Yeah, okay, yeah. So it means whatever, so it's like when you start to think how much time have I actually got left for, evolving, for practicing the Dharma, for growing, when we actually analyze, yeah, we work out we've got about 6 months left, yeah, okay, basically, yeah, unless we try and make everything positive, and this is one of the wisdom keys of Tantra, because we might think, so if we analyze that, how much time will I have if I, to do my meditation and do the summer retreat and all this? 6 months. 6 months is not enough, yeah? But if I start to think, hang on, according to the Vajrayana, when I eat, it can be my spiritual practice, yeah? Then I get back some years, yeah? If I can, sleeping, I can transform into the spiritual path, then I got back 10 years, yeah? Okay. If I can transform my job into something positive, another, many years, and if I can make my partner into my spiritual teacher, success, yeah? No, really, yeah? Then all the problems are automatically solved in the life, really, because if we, Already we have the Lojong teachings, yeah? Okay, the mind training teachings, yeah? So in this, we have something called the union of Sutra and Tantra, one philosophy way and one Tantra way, yeah? So basically, the Lojong point of view, the special mantra is yes. Whatever your partner says, you say, yes. Yes, dear. You're right, yeah? Yes, querida, yes, Dolcetta, whatever you want to say, yeah? This is this is the Lojong approach. We call how do you say, exchanging self with others, offering the victory to others means, yes, darling, you're right, yeah? Automatically the relationship is saved, yeah? And peace develops in your relationship, yeah? So that already the sutra level is like this, yeah? Okay, which is good, no? Yeah? Then the tantric level is, okay, we have to see the partner as like a mirror, actually, yeah? Okay? Why? Because it's it's very easy to be nice to everybody else, yeah? And to be kind and to be genteel and, simpatica and everything, yeah? But when we get home, yeah? Because we allow ourselves to kind of relax with our partner, no? Yeah, okay. So what we have to do is, they say that your partner, okay, when we say it's like peace consort, one way of understanding is they're like a mirror, yeah? And it's true, But many times we look into the mirror and we don't like what we see, yeah? Okay, yeah? So, in Tantra, we need to see everybody as pure and positive, right? Yeah, we need to see ourselves as a Buddha. We need to see this as the Palace of Enlightenment. Everybody's a Daka and Dakini. Okay, it's a very beautiful theory, but then you have to actually apply it, yeah? To your partner, yeah? yeah, to yourself and your partner, yeah, and you have to try and see each other as pure and positive, even when they're annoying you, you know, especially when they're annoying you and when they're telling you what to do and you don't like it, yeah. You have to say yes. And this is my wisdom dakini. Helping me on the path, yeah? Helping me to overcome my delusions. No, really, yeah? Or my, I don't know, my daka, what would you call it? Wisdom dakini, my daka of method, yeah? Okay? So kind, helping me to grow, to evolve, yeah? So we have to have this different vision like this, yeah? So I think, okay, so that's, I think the most important way, honestly, to see is like that, and then, you know, the relationship will be like a lot better, yeah? Because we don't like, you know, we're, you know, the friction in relationships is like this. I'm right, you're wrong, you know, yeah? So it's like, oh, no, actually, you're right. So it's very good for our ego, you know, and also not so easy, but okay, it's the spiritual path, yeah? So okay, so 2 ideas is like that, yeah? And then, yes, we need to transform everything into the spiritual path, including, like, the sexual relationship. It's true, yeah? But the only thing is, yeah, if you actually got a clock, yeah, and you calculate how much time in your life you actually do that, yeah, we should actually think that Tantra, it should be more linked to eating, you know, or sleeping, yeah, okay? Or going to work. Because if we actually calculate, if we got, you know, like, we probably have an app these days, you know? Yeah, you know, one of these, like, you know, sensors, yeah, or something, yeah? So if we calculate how much time we actually make love to our partner compared to how much time we're actually, I don't know, like washing the dishes or, you know, I don't know what, yeah? Going to work or sleeping or eating or being in the bathroom. Tantra is for all those things, yeah? But yes, also the sexual relationship. Everything needs to become positive, yeah? So in the West, people, you know, when Tantra first came to the West, people were very much fascinated by this because of it's a different cultural background, no? And the Western Semitic religions, they have a different attitude towards sex, no? Yeah? Yeah, which obviously I can't comment because I don't belong to those traditions, yeah? But it seems to me they have not such a positive view, you know, about relationships, yeah? So yeah, everything we need to make positive, yeah? Do your best, yeah? You know, it's like that, yeah, okay. But, actually, yeah, tantric practitioners, now I'm speaking truly, yeah, tantric practitioners, okay, we need to transform everything, you know, into the spiritual path, you know, make everything positive. But actually, one of the main focus of Tantra, sorry to say, is death, yeah? So we're actually more obsessed with death than sex, yeah? Okay? Yeah? And so if you want your money back now, it's okay. If you want to leave the Gompa, yeah? If you're expecting something else, I'm sorry, yeah? Because when we talk about the 3 transformations, yeah, we're practicing for dying, yeah? Okay, because anyway, sorry, very sorry for me, sorry for you, sorry for us, but all of us, we have to die without choice, yeah? Die and be born again and again, yeah? All we can choose is how to do it, yeah? In a positive way or not, yeah? And we say that the process of dying and being reborn, this is like the huge level, yeah? But every day, anyway, we fall asleep without choice, we dream without choice, we wake up without choice, yeah? Yeah? So we have like this basis, you know, psychological basis of the same cycle that's happening anyway, yeah? So Tantra is to try and recognize these natural cycles and use positively, yeah? Okay? So yeah, it's an extremely, and so a lot of the NgalSo Tantric Self-Healing, like we were talking about secret empowerment, no? And then today maybe we talk about Mahasukha, yeah? When we do this, you know, like Om Mahasukha, yeah, okay? Gathering the winds into the heart. If it really happens, then what happens is what we call the elements will absorb, the subconscious mind will awaken, and we will recognize the very fundamental state of human consciousness, yeah? So if you never ever do meditation or anything, anyway, automatically those experiences happen in, I think, is it 4 times in the life? One, when we die, yeah? Second, in the moment of falling asleep, yeah, actually, but difficult to recognize. Third is the moment of orgasm, and the fourth is sneezing, achoo, yeah? So maybe, maybe you get some of that nurta, yeah? A big box of it, achoo, and then it's coming automatically. Maybe that's the easiest way to realize the clear light, Anyway, so the point is that now these experiences happen and we don't recognize, or because, we very well may experience the clear light when we go to sleep, but who recognize, no? Difficult, no? Yeah? So with the tantric meditation, we learn to recognize the stages of the elements absorbing, which is like the gross mind shutting down, like when we go to sleep, yeah? And the subconscious mind coming up, yeah? Now, these are natural experiences that happen to everybody, but our mind needs to become more clear, and we need to have more like energy in the mind to recognize it, yeah? So that's why Rinpoche, again and again, the screen went down, no? We were in here, no? And we'd already been here for like 6 hours, and we want to go, Rinpoche, no? Then, and then we need to do again and again and again, no? The element absorptions, and recognizing the white vision, the red vision, the black vision, the clear light, yeah? So Rinpoche insists that what we do is in Tantra, there's many different, many different prayers, yeah? Like all these big prayer books like this, yeah? Tons and tons of them, yeah? With many offerings, many visualizations, this and big lot like this, yeah? But what Rinpoche did is he said, okay, let's get to the point, yeah? Okay? The point is, okay, Guru Yoga, bodhicitta, open your heart, be peaceful, non-violence, and let's recognize this inner cycle of going to sleep, dreaming and waking up, and training for death, yeah? Okay? Yeah, and to die in a positive way, yeah? Because it's going to happen, so we need to do it in the best way, no? So Rinpoche, who really was a realized yogi, he said, okay, I'll show you what yogis do. We spend all the time meditating on this, yeah? We don't spend lots and lots of times doing the other stuff. We meditate on this, that. So that's why Rinpoche designed the NgalSo practices in this particular way, yeah? So, yes, so anyway, how to say, so when we do the Mahasukha initiation, for example, in fact, we can talk about it now, okay? We did the secret empowerment, no? Okay? Secret till we get the experience, yeah? Yeah? When the inner, sorry? Yes, sorry. So anyway, Jacopo, that's a very profound question you asked, yeah? Which takes us on to many other subjects, yeah? But your partner should be your wisdom dakini, yeah? Or your wisdom daka. No, this is how you have to be, no? Then you have some chance to be together and be happy, yeah? So that's the tantric vision. You're both beautiful, and the other one is right. Yeah? Babel, huh? Sorry, we can't hear you. Speaking
Okay. When you're doing the...
Speak here.
Quando si fa la... Prima si scioglie la bodhicitta bianca, ok?
It says when you melt the bodhicittas, yeah?
E poi quando si fa la rossa...
And when you do the clicking of the hands.
bene, la goccia rossa è above the secret chakra.
It's slightly above, yeah. Huh?
So how is it? It goes down to the secret chakra and then it goes up, or how is it?
What's explained is that what we call the tumo is four fingers below the navel. Okay, yeah. So, yeah. Sorry. The question. Can you say in English? They don't understand, yeah.
Scusate. No, allora. Off?
No, it's on. Switch on. Maybe it's not loud enough.
Okay. So my question...
You just put your mouth near the microphone. Yeah, that's it.
Ok. In che lingua? Va bene così si
English.
sente?
Speak
Faccio
in English.
Ok. No, my question is, the red bodhicitta house, let's say, it is above the secret chakra and below navel chakra. So when we are melting it on the Om Mani Padme Hum, does it goes first down and
No.
after up?
No.
Go to the I like just to understand the movement
how it goes,
of
yeah?
yes,
Okay.
the movement of the red drop.
Okay,
Thank you.
so when we talk about Tumo means the fierce mother, yeah? Okay. In the Indian, let's say Sanskrit, it's called Kundalini, okay, yeah, okay. So we say in the Tantra, they say that okay, we have a subtle energy body, okay, yeah? At our heart is this indestructible drop, here we are, red bodhicitta, white bodhicitta, and the very subtle mind, yeah, okay, which resides here, yeah, okay, in the heart chakra, yeah, okay, yeah. As long as this is strong, we don't die, yeah? This is, and all our life and energy and elements and pranas emanate from this in our heart chakra, yeah? Okay? Okay, then also below the crown chakra here, we have a kind of reservoir of the white bodhicitta, the male energy, like a full moon, okay, yeah? And 4 fingers below the navel, we have the reservoir of the female energy, the red bodhicitta, is like a sun, yeah? Yeah, okay? So there's the pure male energy and the pure female energy. And not only that, it's spread all over the subtle body, okay, yeah? They say the channels, it's like there's a kind of, you know, like in the morning when it's like humid, yeah, and there's like a dew, yeah, okay, on the grass, yeah. So the inside of the channels look like that, you know. There's like what we call the bodhicittas inside all the channels, and hopefully the channels are soft and flexible, yeah. So, in the look, these things are called secret because talking about it's okay, but talk is one thing and experience is completely different, yeah, yeah. But anyway, so. When we how do you say? We imagine we have a body of light, no? Like Vajrasattva, yeah? Okay. Inside our energy body, we have a central channel of light. It starts here, yeah? Between our eyebrows, and goes like that, and then goes straight down our back to our perineum, yeah? Okay? Yeah? And we have to visualize it like thick and powerful, okay? Yeah? Okay? So inside of there is where this tumo is going to rise, yeah? Okay? Yeah, and on the side we have 2 side channels. In here we have many illustrations, even in the sadhana, no? You can see here, no? There's pictures, no? Illustrations, yeah, okay? So we have a big, thick central channel, yeah? And Rinpoche said very thin, weak side channels where the breath enters the subtle body, yeah? So if you look at Amitabha Buddha, it's like putting one hand like this, 2 thumbs together. The thumb is at the level of the navel, yeah? And then you go like that, yeah? So where your hand touches below, yeah? This is the point where the 2 side channels join into the main one, yeah? Okay? It's like, I don't know how to say, like a junction, yeah? Okay? There is one space, yeah? And there is where we visualize this red bodhicitta, yeah? Okay? Yeah? That we need to develop, yeah? So we have lots and lots and lots of meditations to recognize this, to wake it up, yeah? But what I was trying to say before, the main key is to develop kindness and empathy and love, yeah, and receive the Guru's blessing, yeah, because if not, we have a ton of these technical visualizations, and it's just like a visualization, yeah. So we need something to switch it on, you know. So the true source of switching on bliss is bodhicitta, yeah, empathy, yeah, yeah. And Rinpoche emphasized that a lot, yeah, okay. So when we do. Babel was asking when we do this, no? Yeah, okay, and it's symbolizing the tumo rising, yeah? So actually, it doesn't go down and go up, yeah? Actually, if it actually starts, yeah, actually, the energy is, there's an energy like, in the Hindu yoga tradition, yeah? They explain that the kundalini is like a coiled serpent, yeah, in your perineum, yeah? The essence of life, yeah? Why they explain like this is because when it starts going, yeah, you know, it starts to, it's like starts to swirl, yeah, okay, yeah, and then it goes up, yeah, okay. So we have a lot of these visualizations of the wind rising from below, yeah, because and they in the yoga tradition and so many Tibetan, it's like something turning, and then, yeah, yeah. So no, the actual fire is there, 4 fingers below the navel, but it starts to, and then it goes up, yeah. So what I was saying the other day is that in Tibet, yeah, when people, you know, we're very interested in this, no, these yogis of Tibet and all this, yeah. So in Tibet before, it's true, they used to go and live in very tough condition, you know, difficult mountainside, meditating, yeah, okay. So before they went, they had to learn Tumo and what's called Chulen, yeah, which in those days, apart from any other reason, was to stop themselves from freezing to death and stop themselves from starving to death, yeah? Yeah? Imagine if you said, okay, I'm going to go and meditate in the Val Grande, yeah, in January, yeah? And I'm just going to take one rucksack of food with me, yeah? I'm not going to come down for 6 months, yeah? So what would happen? You will freeze and you will starve, yeah? Okay, so the Tumo, yes, it gives you dominion over the temperature of your body, yeah? Okay, and also very strong vitality, yeah? So then they could survive, yeah? And live up there totally quiet and practice, yeah? And then there's a practice called Chulen, yeah, which means taking the essence, which means you have very little food, you know, maybe you have, I don't know, like that much a day. That would be a lot, yeah? But with that you can manage, yeah? Because you can digest and take the essence of energy in a different way, yeah? I remember one time we were in Tibet, yeah? Maybe some of you can also remember this story, and we met one Lama, yeah? And actually he was quite a big fat Lama, yeah? And Rinpoche said that actually he'd been with the fall of Tibet now, I think he was imprisoned for like 30 years, and they said, and anyway, for whatever reason, he refused to, he did something, they said, okay, we're not going to feed you, and he said, fine, yeah? And he survived for like 30 years with like almost no food, you know? Yeah, because he was doing this Chulen. Do you remember this person, yeah? Like it was quite big and fat, no? Yeah? It was in, do you remember more? I remember like his face, no? And also he was quite, you know, quite fat for 30 years of Chulen, yeah? Okay. So anyway, so it's true, in the Tibetan tradition, they have these techniques, yeah, okay. Yeah. In India, yeah, also, yeah. But anyway, like I say, Rinpoche, just remember Rinpoche introduced us to this Lama who'd lived 30 years like that, yeah, okay? But actually, if you want to really do Chulen, you know what's the best Chulen practice? This one, yeah, okay? Honestly, if you look in the book of the Gushi, the medical tantras, and they have all these Chulen practices, taking the essence, yeah, now people got interested in all that, yeah? And okay, and they have all these different, I mean, Rinpoche had lots of these Chulen sadhanas, yeah? But the basic meditation of Chulen, to take the essence, which also means to rejuvenate yourself, is this, yeah? Okay, Tantric Self-Healing, yeah? Yeah? And then on top it says, stay in a nice place, yeah? With agreeable friends, yeah? Yeah? Don't expose yourself to too hot or too cold or too windy, yeah? And don't eat food with no life energy, okay? And don't eat too much salt is what it actually says, yeah? So there you are. This is the secret instruction of Chulen, yeah? So if you want to recover the essence of life energy, this is it, yeah? Okay? Yeah? Not joking, yeah? Actually, one of the Rinpoche, we prepare many of like his books, yeah, but unfortunately many of them we actually didn't print, yeah. Okay, we prepare like thousands of things, but didn't quite get them to the printing stage, yeah, for whatever reason. So bit by bit we need to bring them out, yeah, because Rinpoche prepared all this. So he prepared a series of 4 books, which was called Overcoming the 4 Sufferings, yeah. Okay, so human life, unfortunately, because we didn't read the contract when we signed the contract, we didn't read, yeah. So now it's, okay, birth we already passed, yeah, but aging, sickness and death, yeah, okay? So Rinpoche said, all these 4 moments we need to help people, need to take care, we need to manage, yeah? So, okay, so for the death, there's one book called Journey to New Life, New Energy, which is a very beautiful title, no? Yeah, yeah. How to go nicely to the next life, yeah, in the best way, yeah? Then actually, I was talking about this with some friends at lunchtime, you know. Actually, Rinpoche wanted to make another book which was about rejuvenation. I was saying this could be the international bestseller we were always looking for. and I was looking around at all my friends, and I was thinking maybe it's about time we publish this. Maybe better start doing this one before it gets too late, you know. So anyway, it's another thing we need to try. And the thing is with Rinpoche's works, as you know, they're so vast, it's difficult to, you know, it's like coral in all directions, yeah. but this definitely need to focus and it's all about like rejuvenation practices, and which the king of rejuvenation practice is this, yeah? Yeah? Self-healing. It's true. We're not making it up, yeah? Okay? So please, you know, let's continue to do self-healing, yeah? And then then you'll have more energy, your elements will be better, yeah, your emotions will be better, yeah? Yeah? And we will feel rejuvenated, yeah? We'll feel a lot younger inside, yeah? And a lot happier, a lot more positive, yeah? Okay? So anyway, so Babel was asking about the Tumo, yeah? Okay, and then I start talking about the Chulen, yeah? So, okay, so nowadays, yeah? Okay, yes, Tumo, yes, they have these practices, yeah? But now, actually, the lamas these days, what they say is now we got like hot water bottles and we got heating system and all this kind of stuff, yeah? So it's not necessary anymore to do this, you know, like sitting on a block of ice, melting the ice, yeah? That's how they used to do it, like Rinpoche. He told me, actually, he said in Shalu Monastery, yeah? Which is kind of near Ganshan, yeah? Okay, and Rinpoche was there in the other life. He said until 1959, they really did do that, you know, like they had these, it was kind of very yogi kind of monastery. And so they used to do all this, like freezing cold in the winter, get the cold sheet, you have to wrap yourself in the cold sheet and dry your sheets, yeah? But they said now we have a electric dryer, you know, you don't need to dry your sheets like this. Just put them in the dryer. Now we just use for the inner spiritual transformation. No need to do these kind of things anymore, he said. Yes, Sangye Danielle, yes. No, please, come and talk here. I can't hear. I can only hear you if you're speaking here. It's not very loud, this one.
Yeah, it's okay. No, it's not. Yeah, it's working. You were saying Tumu is not necessary?
No, I didn't say it's not necessary, but the lamas say we should use it to rise up through the central channel and melt the drop, not to do like
okay.
sitting in like that Iceman on the YouTube, you know. Actually, no, there's that guy called the Iceman, yeah. Okay, yeah. You must have seen, right? Yeah. Now he's this Dutch guy, super famous, yeah. Okay, and what happened to him is that his brother went to Kathmandu and he brought back a book about Tumo and he read it and he developed it, no? Yeah? And so he does all this like swimming in the Arctic Sea and, you know, all this stuff. And now he got quite a big following, yeah? So several times I went to Rinpoche and I said, Rinpoche, look, he's doing Tumo. And Rinpoche was like, that's nothing, yeah? Sorry, no, but honestly, I have to tell you the truth, yeah? I said, this nothing, yeah? To real Tumo is different, yeah? It's generating the bodhicittas, yeah? Okay? This nothing, he kept saying, nothing, yeah? 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 Yes, this is not the way we need to go, yeah? Okay? Yeah? So, yes, we need to develop, I mean, why Rinpoche insisted that we practice trollcore and all this is because it's necessary, yeah? And we try and develop gradually all these inner states of realization, yeah? Okay? Why? Because if we can get this energy to flow up through the central channel, this is like the alchemical moment, yeah? Okay? If you look at the tanka of self-healing, there's the 5 fathers and the 5 mothers, yeah? Okay? It's the purification of our 5 elements and our 5 emotions, yeah? So, of course, when we do self-healing, yeah, it's happening, yeah? We feel our emotions coming out, you know, and like things are happening, yeah? Many of us have just spent 6 months doing the 1 month of each of the Dhyani Buddhas, and we do feel better, we feel like something changed, yeah? But to totally transform it, we need to get this energy, this what we call the fierce mother, to rise up the central channel, melt here, and then it's like the power is on the alchemy machine, yeah? Okay, yeah? Yeah, then we transform totally, yeah? You know, so anyway, this is what yogis and yoginis aim for. So yes, we do need it, yeah? But to get there, we need to keep practicing, you know, doing self-healing and many other things, yeah? Actually, Rinpoche, he gave us a huge pile of trollcore texts, yeah? Okay? Yeah? Which he said need to do, yeah? Okay, so bit by bit we need to bring them out. But I think this time, yeah, we just concentrate on the 5 fathers, the 5 mothers. Actually, what I'm trying to do at the moment, actually, is that there's a root text of this in Tibetan, by the way, of the 5 fathers and the 5 Buddhas, yeah, which what I want to do is, this is another one, yeah, I want to finish the Tibetan, put the translation, then put it together with the translation and the pictures, and we actually publish the NgalSo Trulko, yeah, the first version, yeah? Yeah, because there is a root text from Tibetan, yeah? So I think this is like the first step that actually has been waiting a long time, you know? I mean, I feel a little bit, you know, that we couldn't do all this when Rinpoche was around, but we had this, I had this feeling that Rinpoche would be around for a bit longer, no, yeah? Yeah, whatever my fantasy or my delusion or something, yeah? So anyway, so we couldn't publish it all in time, yeah, okay? But anyway, now we continue, was Rinpoche's wish, yeah? And in the next life, he's welcome to re-edit his own works, no? If he wants to add anything, no, yeah? But he left us, he said, I'm not taking anything to the cemetery. He left everything, you know, it's true. It's true, he said, I'm leaving everything to all my friends, so all the message, instruction, how to do, all there, yeah, but we just need to continue to produce and, you know, do it together, yeah, okay? Anyway, so I'll this summer, yeah, now in August, I'll try and translate the Tibetan root text of the five Dhyani Buddhas, yeah? Because when Rinpoche first did it, no? He just explained it, he had the book and he just explained in English, you know? And I take notes, but now I need to put together with the Tibetan, you know, to make the most beautiful one, yeah? And Rinpoche actually, what he did is, in his room in the Labrang, he just like started doing it, you know. And I can't demonstrate, you know, but he started jumping and leg out and doing this and doing that. And unfortunately, I just collapsed into a pile of laughter. And then he said, this is okay because you're going to do it. But anyway, we're going to do it, not me, yeah, okay? So yes, anyway, so yes, so it doesn't bebel, it doesn't go down, the wind rises, yeah, okay. So how the wind rises is actually, we need to do yoga and pranayama, yeah? So, sorry? Vase breathing, yeah, so this is actually why I asked Eduardo, who's coming on the 21st, yeah? To teach us how to do it properly, yeah? Because like, one of the keys of the Trulko exercise is what we call the vase breathing, yeah? And actually, it's not so obvious how to do it, to be honest, because if you just read what it says in the Tibetan book, it's not enough, yeah? So there's many little truko, you know? How you sit and how you, I don't know, hold your perineum, and you have to do this, and you have to do many, many things to get it to work, yeah? Okay? So anyway, so Eduardo's going to, and in the afternoons at this time, when Eduardo comes, I want Eduardo to explain, yeah? Because many, many parts of even of the self-healing, no, like Om Ahum at the end, actually we need to understand better how to do this breathing meditation. And for the Trulko, it's extremely essential that we know how to do it, yeah? If we don't know that, the rest of the Trulko is not really... Trulko means like a generator, no, in Tibetan, yeah? Like a dynamo, yeah? It turns, yeah, okay, and it produces energy, yeah? That's what Trulko means. Ko means to turn, it's a generator, yeah? So we're using your body to generate energy, yeah? But it generates the energy if you do the pranayama, yeah? 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 So anyway, so what day is it now? 15, no? 16? 15. Okay, so in a few days, Eduardo's coming and we will start to do that together, okay? Yeah? And then we will see, yeah? Yeah? Sorry? Thomas is really good at Trulko as well, yeah, in the morning, yeah. But, I mean, fortunately, we have several friends who are good at it, but according to what I saw, you know, the one who really knows about the breathing is Eduardo, yeah, okay. He's a, yoga teacher since 40 years, yeah. You know, and anyway, so I would like him personally to share the breathing part with us, yeah. You know. Trulko is much more internal than outside, you know. Because people think yoga is like, I don't know, you know, if you see like Ashtanga yoga and stuff like that, yeah, yeah? And you see all these people like super flexible doing like very amazing things, yeah? Okay, that's one form of yoga, yeah? Actually, in the yoga tradition, they say that as you get older, yeah, actually you should move more towards pranayama, towards the inner kind of practice, yeah, okay? Actually, the Astanga was actually made for young, fit, healthy people, wasn't it, Danielle? Yeah, okay. Astanga, yeah, was made for young, young people with a lot of energy, yeah. And as you get older, you should move more towards pranayama, yeah, to the inner practice, yeah, okay. So it's less, of all that, and more of the inner stuff, yeah, Anyway, so like that, yeah. So we will start that next week, okay, yeah. Yeah? Please. I mean, actually, there's many Trilkos. There's Black Manjusri one, there's Haruko one, there's tons of them, There's Hevadra one, there's Yamantaka one, yeah? And all this is to, generate the energy we need for our chakras to open and the inner realizations to develop, yeah?
With mask, without a mask? Okay.
So take it off if you want now.
Yep. So, actually, which is the connection between the secret meditation, the white and red bodhicitta, and the Om Ahum Pe that we do at the end? Is there any relation?
Well, at the end of self-healing, yeah, this is why I'd like to, thanks Nia, this is why I'd like to ask Eduardo to explain about the breathing, yeah? When Rinpoche, when he first started doing we have the DVD, don't we, of Rinpoche's going like this now, Om, yeah, and so it goes into the heart, then he goes into the heart, and then Hung, like this, yeah, and then he goes like Pe, yeah, okay, so he always said this is like cutting the interference, yeah, okay, yeah, this Pe, no, yeah, so actually, in the Vajrayana tradition, yeah, there's more than 100 meditations on Om Ahum, yeah, okay. Rinpoche has said many times you can just, if you want to do a 3-year retreat on Om Ahum, there's plenty to do, yeah, okay. And actually, Lama Tsongkhapa, who's the, where is he? Where is he? There's Lama Tsongkhapa gone? There, Lama Tsongkhapa, yeah. No, he's over there, yeah. So Lama Tsongkhapa, actually, he made a very beautiful text on 100 meditations on Om Ahum, yeah, okay. And so, when Rinpoche taught this Om Ahum in the self-healing, he said this is preparation for vase breathing, for pranayama, yeah, okay? Why? Because there's many of these, Like you can breathe into your heart, breathe into your navel, you can breathe in through your eyes, your ears, your nose, there's many different healings, yeah, related to breathing, yeah? So, I don't know, I always felt me personally, I always felt that when Rinpoche was doing, I don't know how you all feel, but I always felt when Rinpoche was doing it, it was like to receive blessings, Because it was like this idea, he said light's going out to the universe, invoking all the body energy of all the holy beings, yeah? The Om, no? When he did like that, no? Yeah? And then the he said at the time when he made self-healing, no? The lights go out and then draw in the speech energy of all the holy beings. That's why he's going like this, no? Yeah? And then drawing in the mind energy, yeah? Because, anyway, so he actually explained it like that when he first did it, And then he said, when you do the Pe, yeah? He said you have to visualize like something like a triangle, yeah? Dark red in color, yeah? And it's like a little rocket, yeah? And he said inside this little triangle is all our negativity, our sickness, our unhappiness, our depression. And like the rocket, you go, Pe, and it shoots up into the space and disappears, yeah? Okay. So I remember, I have it written down, no? Like he explained like this. Why we say, okay, Om, yeah? And Hum are some of the most important bija or sound syllable in Buddhism, yeah? Okay. Of which there's incredible explanation, like from the Hindu and Vedic and Tibetan traditions, yeah? Okay. Yeah, we can say like, even within Om, no, or you can find the 3 Buddha bodies, you can find the path to enlightenment, it's incredible, yeah. But normally we say Om is the Buddha's body, is the Buddha's speech, and Hung is the Buddha's mind, okay, yeah. So we're transforming, yeah. Pe, yeah, actually, Pe is most clear in Sanskrit, but it's transliterated into Tibetan, yeah, okay? And most people find very difficult to pronounce it, yeah? Yeah? Well, they write like fat or pat or something. It's like Pe, yeah, actually, yeah? Yeah? The sound is Pe, yeah? And what it means is like, by new bliss and emptiness, all negativities dissolve, you know, yeah? So it means that when we get the actual experience of the mind, all problems are gone, no problem soha, you know? You know, so the actual meaning of, which we have pay in many mantras, don't we, yeah, okay? So it means that when we recover the actual nature of the mind, the new bliss and emptiness, well, what's the problem, you know, yeah? Yeah. So it means so I remember Rinpoche talking like that, you know, Oma Hum Pe, yeah? But then, you know, there's many, Dawa Lamola, there's many other different kinds of meditations, loads and loads and loads of them, yeah? When we published the NgalSo book of Yamantarka, yeah, okay? 5 Yamantarkas. If you look in the back of there, actually there's many different breathing meditations of Oma Hum, yeah, okay? About 10, yeah, okay? So it's a very, very, very profound subject, you know, this Oma Hum breathing, yeah? Like I say, Rinpoche, he said many times, just, you know, if you want to just do one mantra, just do Oma Hum, but then you have to link it together with the breathing, yeah? So he said, he used to give this example of some Lama, whose name I unfortunately forgot, yeah? He said, always breathing in. So I think we do this in the self-healing too. It explains like this as well in the book, no? When you breathe in, yeah? You imagine the air is the sound Om, yeah, okay? So obviously this is something in your mind because you can't breathe in and say Om, no? It's not possible, yeah? And then between the in-breath and the out-breath there's a small natural pause, isn't there, yeah, okay? Then you imagine that in your heart, there's different visualizations, but there's like this Ah. Ah is the sound of emptiness, yeah, okay? Like this red light of Amitabha, yeah, okay? Yeah? So it's like one nectar, one medicine, yeah? Like the energy of love and compassion, it's opening the heart, yeah? Developing bodhicitta, yeah? So the white light of Om is bringing in all the peaceful and positive energy. Then we develop love in the heart through the Ah. And then with the Hung, when we breathe out through our nose, but we're breathing in and out through the nose, not by the mouth, yeah? When we breathe out, yeah, the Hung, yeah, all the sickness, the negativity is going out, yeah? So that's one important Oma Hum breathing meditation, yeah? There's many, many of these, yeah? So this is good, no? Because we have to breathe, no? So we can do it anytime, yeah? If we remember, yeah? So perfect, no? You can be sat at, I don't know, anywhere, and you can do Oma Hum breathing meditation, yeah? So there's many, many, many of these anyway. So another thing that, anyway, Eduardo's coming, no? So he better teach it, not me, yeah? Okay? No, and there's as you breathe in and you breathe out, there's a natural pause, yeah? Okay? So in the yogic tradition, gradually they have a way of like extending the breath. In fact, that's what pranayama means. It means to extend your prana, yeah, to make it your breath. And Rinpoche always said this is how you can live longer. And he always said things like, "Don't get too excited." Yeah, if we have like a, you know, like an emotional attack, and we start, he used to say like panting, you know, yeah. Then the breath is going out more quickly, yeah? So he said that yogis, yeah, they can extend their life energy, yeah? Yeah? It's a bit like nowadays with the electric car, it's like the recharging station, no? Yeah? Which is why also yogis want to go in nice places where the element, like here for example, where there's still some clean feeling, yeah? Where the elements are still alive, yeah? Because then you can, obviously it's not, if you're in like Milano or São Paulo, you have to breathe anyway. You can't not breathe, yeah? But it's true, you know, the quality of the prana is better in a place like this or in the Amazon or one of those, or by the sea, isn't it, yeah? And then if you're in a city, you have to get up like super early when there's less traffic and this kind of stuff to try and get more, true, no? Yeah? More life energy, no? Yeah? But anyway, if you're in a big city, you have to breathe anyway, so you should do it anyway, yeah? So, so there's a lot of this in the troll code. Like I said, that one of the keys that I think we haven't really practiced too much here at the moment in Albagnano is the breath part, you know. And so they have this thing where you have to do like this. You know, it's like when we do self-healing, yeah. I always felt that somehow this movement that Rinpoche showed was very much like this counting for the breathing, you know. So when you do Trolko, no, and this breathing extension, you have to do like this. 1, 2, like this, yeah? You count like this, yeah? Okay. 3, yeah? And you hold, so there's breathing in like this, no? Yeah? Then hold your breath. Yeah? And then breathe out like this, okay? Yeah? So I don't know, I always felt like what Rinpoche was showing us was some other version of this, you know? Yeah? And that if we did it like, not get like faster and faster as we go up, but if we do it like, regularly, it was one way we could do that kind of breathing meditation, yeah? So, there's many, many beautiful things to do within the self-healing system, yeah? Okay? Anyway, so, next week, yeah, we're going to have a little look at that, yeah? Okay? Yeah, but easy way to do pranayama, yeah? I mean, our traditional, NgalSo, one meaning is easy, no? Okay, yeah? Yeah? Yeah, to be in ease, to be comfortable, yeah? So Rinpoche always emphasized that whenever we try and do any of these things, we need to do it in a very easy, very comfortable way, yeah? Which is why our Trolko was designed in a certain way, different from the other people's Trolko, yeah? 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 Because like, in the Tibetan tradition, now you can see all these things on YouTube, yeah? They have something called a bep, yeah? Bep, what is a bep? It means jump up and then crash down, yeah? And get your legs crossed, yeah? Okay? So, this is for like super young, healthy people, yeah? Who don't have sciatica or spinal problems, yeah? And I'm sorry to tell you, but you're all past it, yeah? I'm to do that. Me too, yeah? 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 If I did that and did that, next day I'm like, yeah? I get sciatica, I get spinal compression. It's like, so Rinpoche, I know because I was, writing it down for him, he said, absolutely not are we going to do that in Albagnano, because he said a lot of people will get problems with their back, they will get sciatica, So this is why our Trolka is the easy one, the comfortable one, the one that is good for everybody from 4 to 100, yeah, okay, yeah? Not just retired, it's good for everybody, yeah? Yeah? So Rinpoche modified all the exercises, yeah? So that it was comfortable and we could just get the benefit because these things are also, you can hurt yourself, yeah? I mean, one time Rinpoche demonstrated this thing, it's called a bep, which is like, actually also, Kyabje Song Rinpoche's guru, yeah, okay? Rinpoche said, Gansha Rinpoche said that Song Rinpoche, yeah, when he was in his 80s, he used to go somewhere, yeah, let's say in Gompa, then he would just go, jump up and go plof down like this, yeah, and he was like 80 years old and just, so he even in his 80s he could do it, but, it's not for us, Sorry, maybe next life we start when we're like 6 or something, yeah, and training that, but now we do Rinpoche's way is the best because it's something that's, sorry, if you do that and the next day you're like, you need to go to the osteopath, yeah? You won't do it again, no? Yeah, yeah, yeah. One time Rinpoche actually demonstrated, because actually he does know very well how to do it, he jumped up and he went like this and actually cracked the throne, yeah? Yeah? No, he did. Then they had to replace the top part was cracked, yeah? Yeah? Yeah, by Rinpoche. I'm not going to demonstrate, but prof, yeah? Yeah, anyway, so this is actually tomorrow we're going to do, sorry? Yes, also the oracle cracked the throne as well. Yes, he did, yes. And tomorrow we're going to do, I think, yeah? We will do the Akshobhya, no? Okay, so Akshobhya, meditation. Together with Akshobhya there's a lot of movements, yeah? Now Rinpoche modified the bep, the up at jumping, yeah? Into the ones that we do, like the ones that yeah? Anyway, if you don't know, we'll see tomorrow, yeah? Yeah? Or, Roy's not here, is he? Roy's escaped, yeah? If not, maybe we can demonstrate now, but I think my demonstrator has escaped, yeah? Unless you would like to do, Daniel? Yeah? Would you like to demonstrate the Akshobhya, Trulka? This, you have to go like that, yeah? Yeah? Because this is the modified, what we call bep, this, yeah? Descending, yeah? Yeah? Actually, so Rinpoche modified it so it was, and maybe we do tomorrow, yeah? Okay? Yeah? And Okay, so when you do this, you can wear what you want, but little shorts is good. Like stretchy shorts is the look we're going for. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know, some kind of sports gear or something. Yeah, something flexible. Yeah. So we'll have a go tomorrow. Okay. So all these are like Turolco means generator. Yeah. Turbo. Yeah. So it's to build up your energy. Yeah. Okay. But the key is the breathing, so next week we do the breathing, and then, who knows, maybe with the guru blessing, the generator might generate, yeah? And then you'll be very surprised, like, ooh, you know, yeah? I have more than like 10 different Trollco systems that we need to... Rinpoche's book on Trollco will be called The Yoga of Great Joy, yeah, actually. That was the title he gave to it, yeah, okay? Yeah, so this is another thing we need to do. So I need many helpers, yeah, okay? Like, for example, Claudia is helping me, Danielle is helping me, yeah? Because I need help with the Tibetan the transcription and many things, yeah? So all these things, yeah? As you know, like here we're only a few people and we just do stuff like, we're all just friends, doing our best, yeah? So if we all help each other and work together, then we can finalize all these things, yeah? Because like me by myself, I can't, because I've got like, I don't know, about 180 different projects of Rinpoche, books to finish, no? But if we work together, we can, no? Yeah? So anyway, so let's do that, yeah? Okay? So, is Babel still here, or she's gone? Yeah? So I think, so anyway, so she asked like this, no? And Nune was asking about the vase breathing, the breathing. Oh, okay, so I said Babel was asking about the Tumo rising, okay. And then Nune was asking about the Omahum vase breathing, yeah? Yeah? So all these are like super, actually this is all in the Trollco section actually, like the yogic section of the practice, very profound, yeah? This gradually we need to develop, so bit by bit we will, yeah? Juntos podemos, yeah? Rinpoche gave us everything, but I say a lot of it is sat on my computer, yeah, okay? But anyway, so bit by bit we need illustrator, we need demonstrators, yeah? We need typists, yeah? Yeah, and then together we can do it, yeah, okay? And then once we've actually got the thing, we can publish it and it'll be great, yeah, okay? Okay? So anyway, so thanks for helping, yeah? Any more questions? No, please ask, yeah. You're welcome, yeah. Why not, yeah? But in the microphone, yeah? Hmm?
So, actually, as far as it's my understanding and practice now, about the secret initiation is the snapping, the finger snapping, actually corresponds to the movement of the drops. Of course, then it moving the winds. And Rinpoche actually, I asked many times about this point.
Please share.
No, it's that when you snap, this is why mudra means seal, so it's like you seal a concept, you seal a realization. So actually the snapping at the chakra is also useful because we not only do a movement, but we also produce a sound, and this sound is actually awakening and moving up all the movements of drops. Then, as far as always my very small understand is about the pe. Pe is actually not a sound like Omahu, no? Of course, you can produce a sound through the vocal cords and these kind of things, but it's just like a movement of winds, like the essential winds, the essential air of the breath. And the pe comes from a kind of, which is actually the tumo, which is actually how you can do this movement on jumping and falling other. We keep, first of all, the secret chakra and the navel chakra are not only here or here, so it's an area. Okay, this is why we might misunderstand like the 4 fingers below and the 4 fingers inside. So people think, oh, but it's the navel chakra, it's not the secret chakra. Then this kind of questions comes, it goes up, it goes down. So, I'm sorry. And then actually the very important thing is that we have a kind of small balloon, which is the reservoir.
This is called the bumchung in Tibetan, yeah?
Exactly.
This small balloon, because small vase it's called,
Okay,
yeah?
it's
small
the small
balloon,
vase
yeah?
that we really have, where we have to store the essential energy of all the winds and all the drops. So when we come to the pe, is actually not from the throat, is not a vocal sound, but is just pushing, pressing, like a cooking machine, a
Like
pressure
the
machine.
valve on a pressure
So
cooker.
actually the unuseful air is just thrown out. So, of course, what is unuseful, of course, on a conceptual level, is related to the defilements, to the poisons. So it's very important. No need to shout pepper when we don't need to.
Many
but,
versions.
yeah, but it's very, very important because this is actually the final reservoir of our energy, then goes up to the mind.
But when Rinpoche showed like this, he said this is giving an impression. He never said this is the real thing. He said this giving a positive blessing to put the mind in that direction, you know. But this little balloon, as you call it, the bumchung, yeah, okay. The whole point of the trolka is to get that to be full of energy, yeah, okay, yeah.
Pure energy.
Yeah, pure energy, and then all the other stuff, you know, the samba and everything of trolka is to fill that up with energy, yeah, okay, yeah, and like I'm sure you were I'm sure you went to Shalu and Franco and Danielle and all these many friends. No, we went to this place called Shalu Monastery in Tibet. Yeah, okay. Now this actually Rinpoche was there in a past life. Okay, and do you remember the room with the hole in the roof? Do you remember? I was very much fascinated by this because they have these chambers where they used to do retreat, yeah? And the door was like, you had to be lowered in through it, yeah? Like on a rope, yeah? And you had to stay there till you could jump out, yeah? I mean, I suppose if you failed, they could put a rope down again. If you were like, okay, it doesn't work, I've had enough, yeah? But the idea was that you had to stay in retreat until you'd filled up the little, as Nune puts it, filled up the little balloon sufficiently that you could float out the hole, you know, but not float. You could jump, you know, because that's why this is like a demonstration of your prana, of your life energy, yeah, which is why they did these kind of things, yeah.
See, but I think again, like.
And this is true. These rooms did exist in Tibet, yeah, okay. But we're not building one here.
No need.
No.
No, actually, what Rinpoche said many times about the self-healing, of course, that there are levels and levels. So Rinpoche generously stuffed up all the sutras and the tantras there. So slowly, of course, we started from a very, external, material, part, conceptual, emotional, sensational, conscious, and then we go to the essence. But everything is really, really there. So of course, at the beginning, we, like Lama Michel recently said, of course, the first stage is to learn the practice, to learn the colors, to learn the stages, to learn the song. You know, it's very nice, the tune, the melody, because it helps us to memorize. But of course, we can go deeper and deeper and deeper. Is a life-lasting. So it's very beautiful. So also this bed is the triangle is actually inside the bumchung, and
yes, there's many of these meditations, no?
Endless. Thank you.
But anyway, bit by bit, we need to, with my helpers, who need to produce their part of the job. We will produce these things, yeah. Yes, Rinpoche said we need to be his 1,000 arms like Chenrezig, so, but now we really need to get the arms out, you know. Like sleeping, it's not. We need to do it now, no? Okay, please, yeah, okay. Because otherwise, it's like, okay, next year, and then we're all like 95 years old, and it's like I can't remember, you know, what I'm supposed to do, no? Yeah. So we need to do it while we're still, you know, mentally okay and healthy enough to do it, yeah, okay. Which would be nice, no? Okay. Anyway. Yeah, no, it's all these things in it. They're incredible things, no? Yeah, so Rinpoche did show us those rooms where they used to have to jump out of the rooms, yeah? And they used to stay in there for like 12 years, I think, yeah? Okay. And the hole's actually quite small, I remember. It was like about that big, no? I suppose after 12 years you'd be quite thin, no? down in this cell, no? Yeah? It was about like that big, so you'd have to be very careful the way you jumped. It was also like quite high, no? It was like about 2 meters, no? No? A little more, no? You couldn't put your hand, it was impossible, it's not easy, no? Yeah? Yeah, but anyway, so Rinpoche showed us all these things, but anyway, the point is that now we need self-healing, yeah? And, you know, we need to become healthy people and do something for the others, and we need to put our energies to save the planet at the moment, yeah? Okay? Of which there's many, many, many interesting meditations in the Tibetan yogic tradition, yeah, which we're going to start in September, all these things about the elements, okay? Yeah? So please join us for our international online Zoom group retreat, yeah? Yeah, on the elements. You're very welcome. And as we know, our Lama Caroline, he emphasized a lot, all the element systems of the Tantra, and he made it clear and made us meditate on them, yeah? Why? There's a reason, no? Each one produces a different effect, like a computer program. So now we need to investigate those in more detail, okay? Yeah? Anyway, also, by the way, these things, sorry to say, but I don't feel like doing it on YouTube, yeah? I will do it in the Zoom groups, yeah? Very sorry, but it's like that, yeah? It's like, you know, our things, yeah? Okay, Rinpoche things, yogic tradition. So anybody who wants to see you have to join our Zoom groups. Yeah, yeah, and then we show you, we share with you and stuff like this, yeah? Because Rinpoche, I don't know, it's not that Rinpoche was at all against showing all these things, but like Nune was saying, there's many, many, many levels, you know? And it's like, if you have the family jewels, you don't get them all out, do you? Yeah, not if you want to keep them, no? Yeah? So if you're, I don't know if your mother has like a tiara and 10 gold bracelets, yeah? You don't put them on the windowsill, no? Yeah? Not if you want to keep them anyway. Yeah. It's true, no? It's to keep a little bit, you know. Yeah. So anyway. So we will, well, these things will, I mean, okay, these days we show a little bit of NgalSo Tantric, which is the one that Rinpoche, the first one, but then there's many, many others. But these we will do in the Zoom groups, yeah? Okay? So who likes to do with us, you're welcome. You have to join the Zoom group. So for example, Roy, yeah? You can join our Zoom group, yeah? The English-speaking one on Wednesdays, yeah? Sorry? Yes, yes, you can bring your little camera and you can do it from your Trilco dome, yeah? Yeah? For example, yeah? Yeah? Sì, certo, però qui. Devi chiedermi qui. No, ma... abbiamo un gruppo tutte le domenica sera c'è un gruppo italiano, no? Facciamo in italiano, spagnolo, portoghese, francese, inglese, no? Olandese facciamo in inglese, no? Eduardo speaks English, don't worry, so we translate into Italian, yeah? No problem, yeah? Yeah? It will speak Spanish and English, and then we get at the same time we get the simultaneous translation into Italian. Yeah, okay. So very easy. Yeah. And he's teaching. Eduardo was living here before in Albagnano. Yeah, and he gave very beautiful teachings on pranayama. Yeah, okay. I don't know if any of you went to them. Yeah, okay. So now we continue again. Yeah, and try and integrate them. Yeah. Okay. Any more questions? Hang on 1 second.
Is it really important to sing is Tibetan? I mean, sometimes it go really fast, and when I come to my house, for example, technique for develop our inner guru, can I sing to English?
Yes.
Is it exactly the same, or it have a specific action to sing in Tibetan?
Okay, so actually, Lord Buddha Shakyamuni, according to the historical account, spoke 60 languages. He was super clever, yeah? So actually, Lord Buddha, he spoke Prakrit, yeah? I don't know if you even know what Prakrit is. It's a Middle Indian language, yeah? And then later on, yeah, Prakrit, yeah, it's a vernacular language of Middle India in the Vedic period. And then gradually it was written down in Pali and Sanskrit, yeah? Sanskrit was like the kind of educated version, like Latin in the Middle Ages, yeah? Okay? So then it was translated into, Lord Buddha's words were translated first actually into Chinese, yeah? And then they were translated into Tibetan in the 7th century, yeah? And nowadays the biggest, let's say, corpus of Buddhism in the world is the Tibetan one, the most complete one, yeah? So our Lama Ganshin, actually, he liked that we do stuff in Tibetan, okay, but not a lot, yeah? I mean, he never said, okay, he never said, all of you are going to recite that, yeah? I mean, if you want, you can learn how to do it. But he said, this way, let's, you know, we can do a few things, or we can do Lama Chirpa, yeah? Yeah, or, yeah? Yeah? Okay, 1 or 2, we can learn Lama Chirpa, Antara prayer, and preliminary prayers, and self-healing, yeah? Is what he said, yeah? Okay? So, Rinpoche, many times, he said that he'd like us to continue with the Tibetan. Why? Because, he said, there's a special energy and blessing in the Tibetan language through many generations of practitioners using these words, yeah, these meditations. And it's true, there is actually, you know. I mean, like me, for example, if I do something I do in many different languages. Now, if I meditate on something in English or Italian or Spanish or Portuguese, or we do all languages, it's true, actually, there is a blessing there, yeah, when we do self-healing in English and all our languages, you know. It's true, you know. So it's perfectly okay, you know. But me, personally, when I do it in Tibetan, I find I'm less conceptual, you know, yeah. I don't know exactly why that is, but my mind is more relaxed somehow, you know. Anyway, that's my personal experience. I find it easier to meditate with the Tibetan, yeah. But obviously, you have to understand what it says, yeah. So it's fine to do it in our own language. In our centres, Rinpoche, Lama Ganshin, he asked that we always continue with the Guru Puja and a few things in Tibetan, yeah, okay? But at home, feel free, you know, yeah? Do it in whatever language you like, yeah? I mean, like in some of our centres, like in Brazil, for example, when they do the Guru Puja, the second part too is in Portuguese, no? Yeah? Why? Because it's super important that people understand. I mean, just like, it's okay, but I heard one Lama saying once, you all sound like a lot of sheep going like, bah. Yeah, it's okay, we have to understand, if possible, to understand is the best, no? Yeah? So therefore in our Brazil centre, no? And also in our Spanish centres, in the part 2 of the Guru Puja, they say in their own language, yeah? To make sure that we understand, you know. I mean, so anyway, I mean, best is if we can understand in our own language. Because a sadhana, anyway, it's a stage of meditations that we have to go through. Best is if we can memorize it in our own language, yeah, okay? And then sometimes when we're together with the others, we can, I mean, self-healing anyway, it's so easy, no? I mean, it's super, it couldn't possibly be easier, no, yeah? There's only about 5 lines, you know? Yeah, it's easy, no? Yeah. So this we can manage, it's not a problem, yeah? I mean, when we talk about reciting, we mean like something like that, you know, like blah, 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 for 8 hours, yeah, okay? This couldn't possibly be easier, you know? I think it's okay, you know, we can manage it, yeah? But we also always did like this anyway, like with the Tibetan and then explain in whatever language, no? We've always done that with Rinpoche, no? So, yes, I mean, of course you can do it in whatever language you like at home if you don't want, but you should say the phonetics, yeah? Like in self-healing, yeah? A, ho, shouldy, so ha, you have to say, yeah? Yeah? Because there's great meaning, yeah? With A is the space element, shuddhi means clean, clear in Sanskrit, yeah? Means that everything is the nature of emptiness. The actual mantra parts, yeah? Are from Sanskrit, not Tibetan, yeah? And there's incredible, like, meaning, you know, and blessing there, yeah? So the phonetics you should say, yeah? Okay? This bit, yeah? The block bits, yeah? And then it's, anyway, the explanation is underneath, so it's not really difficult, yeah? Okay? Anyway, I think people actually like, I don't know, I think people are people are very attracted to the chanting, no, of the Tibetan pujas, yeah? Seems to me, if you look on YouTube, you know, there's like millions of them these days, yeah? 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 Yeah, I mean, okay, the thing is people, they like but they don't understand, yeah? The feeling is there. Well, there's a good feeling, no? And what Rinpoche tried to do is make everything accessible, yeah? Which is why self-healing was written in English, by the way. It wasn't written in Tibetan, yeah? Yeah? And all Rinpoche's books he write in English and then we translate into it. Sorry? What do you mean? Yeah. I mean, a lot of in self-healing, anyway, a lot of it is like mantras, no? Like Om, yeah, eh, and it, yeah, and it's things to visualize, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, like, for example, here, no? We have, for example, here in Albagnano, yeah, we have, for example, we have the NgalSo and the different protector pujas and things, yeah? What we're going to do is put always, like, the translation, you know? So, okay, yes, saying it, but you have to understand, otherwise, you have to understand what you're doing, because the whole point is you're visualizing and making offerings, yeah? If you don't, otherwise you don't understand, how can you do the puja, no? Yeah? So all our pujas, they have the translation, no? Bit by bit, yeah? We have to just finish, like, you know, so many, yeah? Like Vajrayogini, self-initiation, yeah? We have those who are qualified to do it, no? The translation's there, you know? Anyway, I personally, you know what, I think it's very nice that we have Tibetan here. Why? Because we want to be with Tibetan monks, no? And lamas and, yeah? And Rinpoche in the future, no? I think, and we, you know, Buddhism, we like having the Tibetan monks and lamas around, no, and them doing pujas and stuff, and they're don't really open to doing it in English or Italian, no, yeah. So better we learn the Tibetan, yeah, at least the sound, no, and then we can do together, you know. What Rinpoche did, Lama Caroline, he was very, very kind that he let us go to the pujas, which are not normally, you know, if you go in a normal monastery, yeah. I don't know, I mean, Danielle went in a monastery, you went in Serra, no? Yeah, okay, and you're a man and you went to the, you know, you can sit there and do the pujas with the monks. But if I went there, yeah? Okay, maybe nowadays they might let me sit there, but most of them, they just say no, you know? If you all went to a monastery and they were saying, no, the kitchen is over there, you know, the guest room is there, yeah? Yeah, sorry, it's true, yeah? Yeah, yeah? Yeah, but you can sit at the back, yeah? Yeah? Daniel, please share it. Seeing as Danielle was actually in a monastery, he can tell us how it is, yeah? Okay. Yeah? Yeah?
No, what I'm thinking the Tibetan community, when you go to the monasteries, women, everyone is welcome, you know, men, women, and if you are there visiting and so on, and you sit there, they will respect you fully. They will fully respect you. I mean,
they don't usually expect you to sit there and start, you know, doing like and joining in, no? I mean, some people do, but it's not so common, no?
No, it's not common, but they will not mind at all. I mean, they're not that they throw you out and you say, no, it's not. No, they're very friendly, and as long as you are a guest, it's They're very friendly. Once you become part of the community, like I did for 2 years with Lama Michel, then it's can be tough, you know. But it's also good. But it's more. But they are friendly anyway. They respect, you know. At least. Also, you see, for example, you know, from the Tibetan community, from the camps. Men and women would come for pujas or offering, you know, breakfast, lunch, and so on. They would sit also in the gompa, you know, in the back, and everything was okay.
Yeah, but I still don't. I mean, okay, we have 1 or 2 friends, Tibetan female friends, who are doing pujas and things, but it's not so common. Yeah, Lama Ganshin, he opened up. He gave us the possibility not just to sit there, yeah, but to study, to practice, to do the retreat, the fire puja, the whole thing.
Yeah, but you know, even if you are a man and you're a foreigner, Inji foreigner, right? You're not Tibetan, and you sit there. If you really want to go into it, you know, and follow together, it's they are not against you at all, but. Not that they really help you, you know. You have to find your way out. It's both. I think it's both for men and women.
Okay. Yeah. No, I don't. I personally just think Rinpoche was incredibly kind to all of us to give us this like all the things that we did here, incredible things, you know. Apart from the Vajravala, yeah. Just apart from that, yeah. We all went to the Vajravala, yeah. And then what else? And we did everything. We did all these high retreats. No, we did 13 deity, Yamanturka, Kala Chakra, Haruka 5 deity, Haruka body mandala, Vajra Yogini, Chittamani Tara. All this we did, no? Yeah. And Rinpoche, everything, you know, all the family treasures, Rinpoche got out and he let us use them.
He opened everything for us.
Everything. He showed us, he let us do, he brought the lamas, the geshe, you know. He gave every possibility to us, and I must say, actually, all the monks and lamas that come to Albagnano, they're always been very kind, yeah? You know, like, for example, like me, you know, at first, you know, Rinpoche shoved me and he said, go and sit there. I was like, no, and he said, you have to sit there. I was like, but the older monks were always extreme, like Lama Lawang's, incredibly kind, you know, and like always very encouraging, you know. So I think we're very, very lucky with that. This beautiful palace of enlightenment that Rinpoche built for us, you know. But it's a really, I think we have a unique opportunity, yeah? Sorry to say, yeah? Because it crosses, okay, like for example, some Dharma centers, they're doing everything in English or Italian, yeah? Others, there's the Tibetan tradition, also incredible, beautiful, no? But it's like Rinpoche gave us like the possibility to do a foot in both, you know? Yeah? He was like, I don't know, cross everything, wasn't he, yeah? Yeah, he opened up all the doors of all the temples, all the gompas, all the practices. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Beginning was not like that. They are not against. But they scared that we bring the Lama away, we don't respect the Lama, we do not have fully respect because we met Rinpoche, maybe not everybody was doing prostration. When I met Rinpoche, I said, sorry, but I don't prostrate in front of anybody, even of you. He said, no problem, for me no problem, you are not Tibetan. And then they watched us not really, not friend way, but with some way that what we cannot treat in a good way. After Rinpoche did a very big job. I remember Tsetan, that now is like a friend. At the beginning, we saw Tsetan and his family only with Rinpoche. They never invite us to eat. Then Rinpoche, he opened completely the friendship and make us, with our family, monks, really one family. He get not so many times, but was a job that Lama Ganshin did, peaceful job.
I mean, honestly, I feel here in Albagnano, it's true what Franco's saying. Like, Also, we have a lot of Tibetan friends, of which there's many. We're friends, no? Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're like one family, you know. It's not like Indians and Tibetans. We're, you know, like we have every nationality here, including Tibetan people, yeah. So our international language of the Gompa is also Tibetan, yeah. Because we like this to continue, no? Yeah. Like it's beautiful, you know, like Tibetan community and for Eastern, Western, Northern, Southern, yeah. Because we're from everywhere, yeah. You know, practice together with the Tibetan community of the Ganden Nyingu. So nice, yeah? And also, I think many Tibetan people feel super well here, no? Yeah? And also, so they enjoy, no? To see also us, you know? Like Rinpoche took us many, many times around, you know, in all these monasteries and Tibetan community, yeah? And Rinpoche said many times that he said that, oh, the Tibetan community, actually, we're a source of hope for them, you know? Yeah, because there was, you know, because, you know, there was many difficulties with the modern society, and their tradition is like going down. But then they see all of us, you know, and not just doing this, but also doing this, you know, and yeah, and they really feel a lot of hope seeing us, you know, that actually their tradition is spreading, you know. So Rinpoche said many times like that, yeah. Well, I think it's nice, no? I think anyway. I just think everything is perfect, you know, how Rinpoche set it up, no? Those who like Tibetan, we have Tibetan. We have a lot of Tibetan, yeah? And those who don't like Tibetan, no problem, you can do it in your own language, yeah? Or if you like half-half, everything is possible, you know? You like to do very modern way, possible. If you like to do very antique way, possible. Everything is possible, no? Yeah, so we're super lucky, you know? How could we possibly get a better chance than what we got, no? Yeah? So I hope that answers your question. So please feel free to do it in whatever language you like, but please do it, yeah? Okay? Yeah? Huh? No? Yeah? Hi, Rucha. Hello, hello. Welcome back, yeah? How was your boat trip?
It was wonderful. And I'm very happy to be back. I would like to contribute something, maybe slight contradiction to Daniel, because when I was here the first time, closer? Okay. When I came here the first time, I also saw you, Lama Caroline, sitting in the first line with the monks, and I thought, oh, maybe she is wrong. Maybe she does not know how the rules are.
Like I was sat there by accident, you mean?
Because I came from Tashi Rapten in Rapten-Schüling, and this would have been completely impossible. So maybe the Tibetans are more progressive, but in Western monasteries, maybe it's not like this. So this was really, afterwards I was very happy that I did not do anything.
Actually, Lama Ganshin, yeah, he said many times, I want to support women practitioners, yeah, of which I'm just one, yeah. As you know, we have tons of them here, yeah? Yes. And Rinpoche said, he said, me, Lama Ganshin, I'm a feminist, yeah? He did, yeah? And he said, I'm supporting women's rights, you know, and democracy, yeah? And he said, you know, so he was like and then he always said this is why he always, you know, have us all, you know, showing the practice and doing everything, yeah? I mean, of course, we have many men, but lots of women. And he always put all the women, no, to show the practice, yeah? Because also to show it that we can, yeah? Yeah? Yes, we can, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah? Why not, yeah? Mahayana is everybody can get enlightened. Yeah. But Rinpoche was extremely progressive, you know?
That was...
Because he understood that this is the modern time, yeah? And things, you know? Rinpoche never say one word negative about anybody, you know? But he understood, like, this time is different time, you know?
Yeah. Also that in Albagnano there are easily 10, 15 umzelas.
That's good, no? That's
yes,
good.
it's wonderful. In other monasteries, when the umzela is ill, then it could be a little bit difficult. And also the nuns, they are always very much behind and not having dorje and bell. And this is what I estimate very much.
Rinpoche was extremely special, unique, you know. Also remember, he was a woman in his past lives, yeah? He was Mahasiddha Lakshminkara, yeah, okay. So he always had this like not just pro-women, pro-everybody, you know. Because the point is not one side, it's equality, you know. Everybody's equal, that's the whole point, yeah. And why not? Why can't you? If you want to practice the Dharma, why shouldn't you? I mean, you shouldn't be able to, yeah? Yeah, please, new name. Dalai Lama. Huh? Huh? Yeah. Yeah. No, it's here is unique. It's unique. Yeah. 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 Well, I think actually the idea was to empower many people. You know, like Ruch was saying, no. Like here we like to have many people who feel confident to guide the poo. Why? Because it's good, no? Why not? Yeah. So let's say, for example, one day Mary Christina has another appointment. Then we have New Nela, we have Danielle, we have Matthias. We have tons of people who. Yes, no problem. I do it. Yeah. Better, no? Yeah. 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 Sorry. This was an important part of Rinpoche's thought, no? That, yeah, we're all good enough, yeah? Yeah? Yeah.
Arrivo qua e me la tolgo.
Yeah.
Okay. So Rinpoche said actually everyone needs to become a unse. So, and another very particular thing to remember is that when we started, a lot of Rinpoche's. Okay, so I was just remembering that at the beginning, most of Rinpoche's first students, they didn't want to sing, they didn't want to speak, they had very big difficulties in communication, and now everyone is singing, everyone is unse. It is very important to understand that it's not just a singing, it's not just a chant, like anything, there are levels, so how the chakras are related, the throat chakra and the secret chakra are related, the fears, so why people don't like or have difficulties in speaking, in communicating, looking in the eyes, showing. Then there is the self-esteem. A lot of things are related to singing.
Actually, I was talking about this before. One of the Rinpoche's books is about making peace with aging, yeah. And he said one important thing about rejuvenation, yeah. And one of the things he said that was important as we get older is more Dharma singing, yeah, singing mantras. Why? Because of the emotional thing, yeah. Yeah. So yes.
Please, Lama, can you tell us Lakshminkara's story?
Well, it's actually yes. Okay, it's quite a long story actually, yeah. Okay, so we have the 84 Mahasiddhas. In ancient India, there were more than 84 great yogis, but why we have, in our Gompa here in Albagnano, I don't know if you can see at the back, we have like these panels of what we call the 84 Mahasiddhas, yeah? Why there's 84 is because in ancient India, they like very much the number 84, very auspicious. And there's one yogi called Dorje Dempa, yeah? Which means the man of Bodh Gaya, yeah? And one day he was sat meditating at Bodh Gaya, the place where Lord Buddha Shakyamuni achieved enlightenment, and then he did kind of like Malu Shemchen, yeah? And then many siddhas appeared in the sky, yeah? Okay, so this is how they met, supposedly, how they make this list, yeah, the 84 Mahasiddhas, yeah? But it's, by the way, it's not 84, because a lot of them is like, they're like couples, no, yeah? So there's like one male one, but actually there was his wife, you know? Yeah? Like Saraha the arrowsmith, then there was the Wisdom Dakini, who was like, you know, anyway, there's another, each one, there's more or less like 200 of these 84 Mahasiddhas, yeah, actually. But anyway, so Lama Genshin, great enlightened master, yeah, he has many previous lives. Actually, this is quite another, Rinpoche had many unique qualities and things that other, let's say, different from many other lamas, yeah. So Rinpoche is, I don't know, I've never heard of another Tibetan Lama who says he was a woman in the past life, yeah? Okay. Maybe but I never heard of anybody else, yeah? Did you? Yeah? So Rinpoche, he was recognized as the past, his past life, he was the female Mahasiddha Lakshminkara, yeah? Okay. And he was always like, yes, I used to be a woman. I understand women. Sorry? Yeah, please, you tell this. Actually, I think there's actually. Please, you tell this story. Yeah, there's actually two. There's the Kalyana Devi. and Lakshminkara. They're actually two different women, actually. So that means Rinpoche was actually two different women in his past lives, yeah? Okay? Yeah, please. I mean, I know because I wrote it all down. We made a biography of Rinpoche's past lives, yeah? So please, you can tell that one and I'll tell the other one.
But to be very honest, actually the very first time we went to Sri Lanka, we went to visit a beautiful temple, a Hindu-Buddhist temple, which is called Kalyana, very colorful and with the sand. And then outside near the river, there is a statue of Lakshminkara, and few of us, we were with Rinpoche, and he said, that's me, you know. So that was the first time that he really told us the story of Lakshminkara that now Lama Caroline is going to tell us. Thank you.
Okay, Lakshminkara was a princess from Odiyana. Odiyana nowadays is called Swat Valley in Pakistan, and unfortunately at the moment it's a very troubled area, yeah? In the 7th, 8th century of the modern era, it was the golden place of Tantra, yeah? So many of the Tantric masters and sages came from there, yeah? Okay? Actually, it was also the place where the armies of Alexander the Great, they reached, yeah? Okay? So they had a kind of very special hybrid Western Indian culture, yeah? So their art looks, all the Buddhas look kind of Western, yeah? It's called the Gandhava culture, yeah? Yeah? And anyway, so a very special, beautiful place and where the Tantras developed, yeah? Okay, when Lord Buddha achieved enlightenment, no? He gradually taught different yanas or vehicles, yeah? So the Tantric part, he didn't teach to everybody, he taught to certain kinds of people, yeah? And the Tantric teachings were kept kind of secret, yeah? And then came out at different periods in history, yeah? So in the 7th, 8th century, Odiyana was the great place where the Tantras were flourishing. Like, for example, the Guhya Samaja Tantra, yeah, was a big center of the Guhya Samaja practice, yeah. Also the Yogini Tantras, like Vajrayogini and so on, yeah, okay. So the Tantras in the early period were mainly associated with royal courts, yeah. They were taught with royalty, yeah, okay. They were taught to, yeah, in the it's like it's like when, for example, when Buddhism went to Brazil, yeah. First, it was like the upper middle class that took it up, yeah, yeah, and so on, yeah. So in the India, it's true, no, yeah, yeah, and then gradually, religions, no, they gradually, many of them start with the royalty, yeah, or the rich, the upper classes, and then they gradually become popular, yeah. Yeah. So anyway, so that's how it is, no? So anyway, so the Odiyana court, yeah, they were a Buddhist tantric court, yeah, okay? So they invited many siddhas and masters to give teachings to the royal family, and, you know, family means big, yeah, not like nowadays, many princes, many princesses, and so on, yeah? So the king was called Indrabhuta, yeah, and his sister, one of his sisters was called Lakshminkara, yeah, okay? So Lakshminkara, she was very interested in Buddhism, so they invited many monks and yogis to the court, yeah? And so from her childhood onwards, she received many different sutra and tantra and Mahayana teachings, yeah? However, when she was 16, they said, okay, now you have to get married, yeah? Okay, you have to, you know, it's a dynastic marriage, yeah? You know, it's what happens to princes and princesses. You have to marry the son of the other king, no? Yeah, so that we're friends, so we, you know, we make a good business and we don't fight each other, yeah? So she was sent to marry the son of the king of Sri Lanka, is the story, okay, yeah? So anyway, so she was sent off with her dowry, you know, like Indian style, yeah, like lots of ornaments and jewels, presents for the other royal family. And when she arrived in Sri Lanka, they were approaching the city of the king, yeah? And she saw a hunting party, and they said, who's this? And they said, oh, this is the prince, this is your betrothed, yeah, okay? And then she was like, absolutely, like, no way, I'm not married, because she was like, this is against my personal values, I'm absolutely not marrying him, you know? I'm like a radical vegan, you know? Sorry, but basically like this, you know, like vegans these days, yeah? No way, I'm not marrying somebody who does hunting and eats meat, yeah, okay? So anyway, so Anyway, she got to the royal palace, yeah, okay. And then what she did is she pretended to be insane, yeah, okay. So it's a bit like the story, like San Francisco, like when he, let's say, changed from being the son of a merchant to being San Francisco. First what he did is he went to the marketplace and he gave away all his jewels, and gave away the family fortune, yeah. So Lakshmi Kara did the same. She got her dowry and she stood in the marketplace and gave it away to all the people, yeah. And then she took off her clothes and started dancing around, yeah. And then, like she was not actually mad, yeah, but she was pretending to be insane, yeah, okay? So then the Sri Lankan royal family, they said, okay, this princess is a bit, yeah, let's call the doctors, let's see if we can do anything. But anyway, the doctor said, no, sorry, this one's gone, yeah. So then she said, actually, just let me go and stay in this, I want to go and meditate, yeah? So they said, oh, fine, And they said, well, she said, just build me a hut and send me some food and it'll be fine. So they said, fine, yeah, okay, because they can't really send her back, yeah? Because it would be like a political problem, yeah, okay? So then she said, okay, that cemetery over there, which is not like the cemetery of Bay with little casitas, like an Indian cemetery, where they burn the bodies, yeah, okay. She said, over there is where I want to stay and meditate. She said, fine, yeah, okay. So they left her there, okay. Okay, one thing I forgot to say is that she was a disciple of the Tantric master Lawapa, yeah, very famous master, yeah, who's her guru in Odiyana, yeah, okay. He's very, very famous, yeah. Many of our lineages, we pray to him, yeah. He was a super siddha with many magic powers, yeah. So she said, fine, I'm going to stay in the cemetery and I'm going to meditate. So then they just basically left her there and forgot about her, yeah, yeah. So then, I think, according to the story, 12 years later, yeah, this is by the way, this story is in the, it's called, in English it's called Lion of the Siddhas. It's the story of the 84 Mahasiddhas by an Indian master called Abhayadatta, yeah, okay? Which is also translated into Tibetan and Hindi and many languages, yeah, and English and Italian. And Abhayadatta, by the way, is the one who made the Vajravali, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. So also connection is there, yeah, okay. So anyway, so the prince married somebody else, yeah, and then 12 years later he was out hunting, yeah, and then they said, they came to near the cemetery and they said, remember the princess, the crazy one, yeah? So they said, let's go and have a look how she's doing, yeah? I believe she had a hut there. So they went up to the hut, yeah, little hut, yeah? And they looked in through the very small window, and inside they saw like a kind of like palace of enlightenment, basically, yeah? Inside there was like heaven with all the dakas and dakinis and, like another world, another reality, yeah? So then they were like, oh, I think we made a mistake, yeah? And they knocked on the door, yeah? And said, oh, princess, yeah? Obviously we were wrong, yeah? Please, please can you give us teachings? Can you, guide us to enlightenment? She said, no. She said, however, yeah? Well, I mean, she also sang some beautiful songs to them and things like this, yeah? But she said, if you want to receive my teachings, actually you can go and receive them from one of my disciples. And they said, fine, who's your disciple? So she said, go to your palace and go and find the cleaner, yeah? Okay, one of the cleaners, yeah? Okay, and he said, the cleaner you need to put on your throne, O king, yeah? And you need to prostrate to the cleaner, and then you can receive the tantric teachings from them, yeah? And so in the Indian mind, this is not so easy, no? Because they have this thing called the Varnas, the caste system, yeah? Okay? With, they have like the Brahmins, the Kshatra, the warriors, the Sudra, and the the four castes, no? Yeah? Sudras and the outcast, yeah? So the cleaners are the lowest caste, yeah? The ones who do like the dirty jobs, yeah? So in the Indian mentality at that time, it's very difficult for somebody of the high caste to do that, yeah? But Lakshmi Kara said, take it or leave it, yeah? So I said, okay, take it, yeah? So the king said, now the prince became the king. He said, which cleaner is it? I've got loads, Yeah, he said, okay, so if you go very early in the morning and you see the one who's feeding the birds, who's always super kind, yeah? Who's always giving food to the animals, that one, yeah, okay? So then, yeah, so then this is what happened. The king, of Sri Lanka, he actually became the disciple of Lakshminkara's. Actually, Lakshminkara had many, many female disciples. She had 7 famous female disciples, who became great famous yoginis in their own right, So then the king took the tantric teaching from the cleaner guru, and in that way he also entered the Vajrayana path, So Lakshminkara Rinpoche in that time, was super famous tantric guru, and she's famous in almost all the tantric lineages. Like, for example, in the Guhya Samaj. Actually, this is an interesting story, Okay, she was the princess of Odiyana, right, Her brother was King Indrabhuti, So when King Indrabhuti heard his sister had got enlightened, he was a bit jealous, Then he said, oh, my sister's got enlightened, If my sister can do it, so can I. So then what he did is, he didn't renounce his kingdom, but he stayed meditating in his throne room, And he actually did the Guhya Samaja Tantra in his throne room, in his court, And finally he achieved awakening through the practice of Guhya Samaja, and became the most famous guru of the Guhya Samaja lineage, So, Lakshminkara, aka Rinpoche in the 8th century, it was famous, is one of the lineage guru, Wisdom Dakini of the Chakrasamvara Tantra. She founded one of the Vajrayogini practices, the Chinamastra, Golden Vajrayogini, so important, Rinpoche said that she was the Yeshikandroma, the female Wisdom Dakini of the Yamantaka Tantra, And her brother was Indrabhuti, the founder, let's say the first guru in the lineage of the Guhya Samaja, So, what I always personally took from this is that if Rinpoche wants to remake Guhya Samaja, Haruka, Yamantaka, and Vajrayogini, why not? Seeing as he was there. She was there at the beginning. Of all these major tantric practices. And it's like like Rinpoche was always showing us like Om, Ahum, Soha, Sam, 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 and all this. So as far as we know, the first, let's say, Buddhist person who started with these practices of the bijas, seed syllables on the body, was Lakshminkara, So it's like all our practices. It's not like made in Albagnano in 2018 or 2002 or whatever. It's actually made in ancient India in 8th century, It's like Rinpoche was remembering what he did in his other lives, It was like kind of, He was like recovering something within his own stream of consciousness, So our practices in the Gelugpa are very unique because of all this, aren't they? Om, Ahum, Soha, all this, But it's not new. It was made by Lakshminkara, actually, in the 8th century, Yeah?
No, very short, but Trijang Chodro Rinpoche, the one who lives in Vermont in the States, he said, I heard him saying, I think you also did, that the most powerful practice is the body mandala practice, right? Yeah. And when he saw the self-healing practice, one time Rinpoche went to the States with a few people. I don't know if you were there.
Not that time, no.
And he showed them self-healing practice. He said the same way that you have the Namdra Lajang as the
liberation
in the palm of your hand from Sutra, this NgalSo is the Namdra Lajang from Tantra,
Yeah. True.
So,
I remember that.
And I heard him saying, that and who was it? When he gave the initiation? It was one practitioner, one Indian practitioner, based on his practice. When he did, I don't remember, it was Haruka or Vajrayogini. Remember that? And the sadhana was one paper, just one with no huge visualization. Gantapa?
Who gave the initiation?
Trijang Chodro Rinpoche. Was this Gantapa or something? I don't know.
I just remember that Lama Genshin used to say that all the original, which is true, all the original sadhanas were very short, like aham. He used to say aham yamantaka, aham chakrasamvara, and then super short, yeah? So perhaps His Holiness Trijan Choktrul Rinpoche was using one of these ancient Indian ones, you know?
Yeah, from India,
Yeah, our Rinpoche was always going back to the like kind of roots of the Indian Vajrayana tradition. I mean, he was in India, no? Yeah, okay. Plus he was Indian himself in many centuries, yeah? So I think we're super, I think now we have to stop, yeah, for dinner, but we're incredibly lucky, yeah? Yeah? Also Rinpoche said when he was teaching self-healing in the Kumpan in the 90s, he said, I want to teach everything, as Danielle said, in terms of body mandalas. You know, even before he started with all the rest of them, when he was doing self-healing, he said, I'm going to show you the path through the path of the body mandala, and then gradually bring it all out, yeah? So this plan, let's say, had been hatching since the 8th century, yeah, okay? And then he found the condition in the Kumpan, no, in the 90s, yeah, to start to bring out these things, no, yeah? So we're incredibly lucky, and we should rejoice, and then we should try and practice as much as we can, yeah? And realize what he gave us, no? Yeah? Yeah? Okay, so anyway, so please come back at 9 and we try and practice. Try and put it back into practice, yeah? Okay? If not, please come back another day. Every day we continue with the beautiful self-healing practice of Lama Genshin Rinpoche. So please do join us if you feel like it, yeah? Okay, let's make a very sincere dedication, yeah? That these teachings, that we realize these teachings, yeah? Okay? Yeah? And then, based on our own experience, and people see it's true, then we can share with other people and give a positive contribution to the world, yeah? We're all so lucky, yeah? And Rinpoche gave this equally to everybody, yeah? We all have the same opportunity, the same chance, yeah? So, Om Bhishwa Shanti Hu, 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 per il potere della verità, pace e gioia ora sempre, per il potere della verità, pace e gioia ora sempre. Per il potere della verità, pace e gioia ora sempre. Ni modele sendele, ni me kuyandele shin, ni sentatu dele pel, concho sungi jingi, concho sungi nudruso, concho sungi hitashisho. All'alba o tramonto, di notte durante il giorno, possono i tre gioielli concederci le loro benedizioni, possono aiutarci a ottenere tutte le realizzazioni, conspacere il sentiero della nostra vita di buon auspicio. Ok, grazie, thank you, obrigada. Ok, ci vediamo dopo, ciao ciao, o domani, ciao.
Vorrei solo fare un annuncio, per favore, per supportare il nostro Gompa Team. Se per favore tutti quelli che fanno il ritiro, o anche quelli che sono qua per poche ore, si prendono cura dei propri cuscini, di non lasciare le cose in giro, torte, tortine, biscotti, crackers, briciole, così anche questo aiuta molto il team del Gompa